We all know children can be impulsive. They break the rules not because they're bad kids, but because they just can't seem to help themselves. Sometimes it's something small, with minor consequences. But other times, being impulsive can be deadly, especially when it comes to guns.
The two were playing around last night with a loaded gun when it went off.
There are at least 37 million homes in the U.S. with guns.
The toddler was
And according to the Centers for Disease Control, an estimated 2,000 children are injured in gun accidents each year, and more than 100 children are killed. All too often, it's a kid pulling the trigger. Each child's death is tragic, and all of them are preventable.
No child deserves to be taken like this.
While the gun issue is incredibly divisive, what is not debated is that everyone wants to keep children safe, and that's our goal tonight. We plan to give parents lessons on the best way to teach kids gun safety, from kids as young as 5 to teenagers.
Yo.
We've enlisted the help of Dr. Ray Miltenberger, a professor at the University of South Florida and a leading researcher of gun injury prevention.
You see a gun? What do?
Dr. Miltenberger believes the first step to keeping kids safe is to store guns locked and hidden.
The second is to teach the kids the skills for the one time that some adult will not store the gun safely.
And if you're a parent who believes, my kids would never touch a gun without my permission, what would happen if you tested them? We found a group of parents in the Tampa, Florida area who agreed to do just that. They wanted to know what their kids would do if they found a gun when they thought no one was watching.
I'm dying to know what he's going to do.
We're at a local park about to test our first group, teen boys. They're at a much higher risk for accidental gun injuries and death than teen girls. Will any of them be able to resist this? Before anyone arrived, Corporal Robert Powell from the Tampa Police Department took a real gun and disabled it.
Slide works, trigger pulls, however, nothing will fire from the gun.
He then placed it under a picnic table. He says in order for the teens to pass this test, not only should they never touch the gun, but they should get away and get an adult. Now hidden cameras are rolling all around the park, zooming in on these two boys.
Hi, I'm Austin.
Hi, I'm Vinny.
They have no idea they're about to be tested. They think they're here to be part of an NBC shoot on physical fitness. They also don't know the other two are actors. One of them will discover the gun. Our roving watchmobile just arrived from New York City. It's our secret command center for parents.
You nervous?
I am.
And here, the boys' parents will see on monitors what our hidden cameras throughout the park are recording.
It's very hard to determine what he will do.
Austin's dad says his son, who's about to turn 13, owns an airsoft gun that shoots plastic BBs. And that's not the only reason he feels it's important to talk about gun safety.
I do carry a concealed weapon myself, and there is a firearm in my house, so we do speak about that.
Does he know where the firearm is?
He does not, it's locked up.
The other boy is Vinny. He's 14.
He's an exceptional kid and student. He's very athletic. He's very much a leader.
They don't have guns in their house, but Vinny has gone hunting with a friend.
The dad gave him a lot of lessons in what not to do, what to do.
In terms of gun safety, you feel like he's prepared?
I don't know what I think that he would be smart enough not to do anything.
Not to touch it?
Not to touch it, not to aim it at somebody.
If your sons pick up the gun, what would we be feeling?
I would feel like I let him down with my gun safety rules in the house.
I would be a little sad. I think that he would have little fear, and I would want him to have more seriousness about it.
Okay, I think you're both very nervous, so let's get it going.
10 more seconds, go.
To keep up the ruse that this is a fitness shoot, we've asked a trainer to run the boys through several exercises.
Nice and tight, nice and tight.
Then she sends them to take a break at the picnic table.
I'll give you about 15 minutes or so.
She and our camera crew leave. The boys chit-chat for a few minutes, and then...
Yo, straight up.
What's up? Straight up right now.
Our actor pretends to discover the gun.
What is?
Vinny looks at it over the table. Austin peeks under the table. And their parents can't look away.
Maybe about 15 minutes or so.
These boys appear to be all alone.
Yo, straight up.
What's up?
Straight up right now.
And one of them just found a gun.
What is?
There may be no adults around, but plenty are watching on hidden cameras, including these boys' parents. Austin is almost 13 and Vinny is 14. Their parents have put them in this situation to see what they will do next.
Are you kidding me right now?
The boys don't know the gun is disabled and that these two are actors.
Just looking at it.
And it all comes down to this moment. Both boys are trying to see the gun, and both their parents are hoping they won't touch it and will tell an adult.
This was just sitting right there, dude.
Immediately, Austin seems concerned.
That's safe.
But the others ignore him.
Is that like a BB gun?
Then,
I'm not kidding you. That's real. What?
Oh my God.
Can I take the clip out? I don't know. Can you? I don't want to.
I'm shocked.
You put actual bullets in there.
Austin is taking it all in. Remember, his dad keeps a gun in the house and says safety lessons have been ingrained in his son.
Austin's not saying a word.
But when our actor starts playing with the gun, pointing it in the boy's direction.
Gun safety, gun safety, gun safety.
He's scared.
Yeah.
But Austin doesn't do anything about it. He doesn't get away, and he doesn't get an adult.
Oh my God.
Wait, let me see it. I'm gonna take it off.
Then, look what Vinny does next.
What if you put this thing back? Just click sound? I thought you were supposed to...
It's like right there. That's that. Yeah.
Is he shooting it?
That's a real gun.
How are you doing?
I'm really sad that he would just do that. And I failed because I haven't taught him enough about it.
Feel how heavy that is.
The actors put the gun near Austin.
I don't want to touch it.
He doesn't want to touch it. And my son won't stop.
Bop, bop, bop. Yeah. Killed him. Guy's dead.
Oh my.
Oh my.
It's an emotional moment for Vinny's mom.
Yeah, I feel like a cop right now. Dude.
I am overwhelmed at his response to this.
I'm just avoiding the barrel.
Then we ask our actors to simulate a real-life peer pressure situation.
Yo, you guys gotta not say nothing, seriously. I'm legit.
Try to convince the boys to agree not to tell anyone about the gun.
I'm not gonna say anything. Let's put this stuff in front of it in case they can just look at it.
Where did they even go?
Hi, guys.
I go out to speak to them to see what they'll tell me.
Anything else happen? Anybody want to say anything to me?
Nope. What are we doing next?
I'll tell you what's happening next.
Yeah, I know.
Vinny, it seems, has figured out he's not here for a physical fitness shoot.
What's happening?
We found the gun.
So do you know what I'm here for?
Gun safety.
I'm doing a show on gun safety, exactly. We saw you point it, shoot it. What do you think you should have done differently?
Oh, the trainer as soon as she came.
Mm-hmm. What else could you have done differently?
Walked away, not stayed when they had a gun.
Let's bring your parents in.
I invite the parents to sit down next to their kids.
Were you scared for your son, Sharon?
Yeah, it brought a tear to my eye, the way that you were just thinking it was so cool. And it was very eye-opening to see where I'm failing and not teaching my children what's the right thing to do.
Corporal Powell comes in to give the boys a quick lesson on gun safety.
We don't know the difference between real and fake guns sometimes. So we have to treat them all as if they're real, stay away from them, and tell the adult.
Think you can do better next time?
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. All right. High five. He's like, I'm not so sure I want to high five you.
We're going to try this again.
Yo, come on now.
With this boy who knows firsthand the dangers of a gun. We've been testing teens to see what they do when they find a gun and think no adults are around.
Killed him.
In this scenario, the gun is disabled. But for 13-year-old Brooklyn May Moeller, when her friend picked up a gun, it was loaded.
Her friend's father had a loaded gun in a kitchen cabinet.
Brooklyn's dad was on his way to pick her up when her best friend accidentally shot her.
She was on the ground and her friend was holding her.
And you were the one who walked in.
I was the first one on the scene.
She died a short time later.
The police said that her friend was trying to disarm or get a bullet out of the chamber, and the gun went off and struck her in the lower spine.
That was 2 years ago, but her parents say they still see her every time they close their eyes.
She was so special, and she was a marathon runner, and she would win, and she was extremely athletic and competitive, and you couldn't tell her no. And if you tried to, she would say, "Watch me." And I loved that about her, and I miss that so much.
One thing that haunts her parents, who are gun owners themselves, is that they never asked if there was an unsecured gun in her friend's house.
Maybe if I would have just asked that question, maybe things would be different. I'd still have my daughter.
We're trying to prevent accidental childhood shootings.
Brooklyn's parents have started an organization, the Brooklyn May Moeller Foundation, dedicated to promoting responsible gun ownership.
We're just trying to prevent this from happening.
If you're a gun owner, be responsible. There's no excuse.
Yeah, it's a gun lock.
Lock your guns up. And if you're not, and even if you're just a parent, ask where your children go if they have unsecured weapons in the home.
I just want to make sure that no other parent ever has to feel this.
They think tonight's test is so important, and they applaud the parents willing to test their kids so that so many others will learn what to do if they ever find a gun. The next teen to be tested is 15-year-old Jordan. He knows more about the effects of gun violence than most kids his age.
Okay, ready? Go.
His mom, who's with me in our watchmobile, explains that before moving to Florida, they lived in a rough neighborhood in Chicago where there were gangs.
A bullet actually went through our mailbox at the house, which is where my boys would have been playing.
His mom says because of his life experience, she's betting her son won't touch the gun.
How do you think Jordan is going to act and react?
You know, I don't want to touch it. Maybe he might be curious like any other kid to look at it, but hey, let's get an adult involved so that we can correct the situation.
Okay, you ready to see how he does? You a little nervous?
A little nervous, yes.
All right, here we go.
Like the other teens, Jordan was invited here to be part of an NBC shoot on physical fitness.
We're gonna go to a bench over here.
The trainer gets the boys to wrap up their workout, sends them to the picnic table, and leaves.
I'm just gonna go see if anybody else has come.
Remember, Jordan doesn't know the two other boys are actors.
I used to play your linebacker, but
yeah,
I moved to running back.
Yeah, I can see running back.
We cue our actor to pick up the gun.
Yo, come on now.
Jordan looks under the table, then leans in for a closer look.
Oh, wow.
Now, bro, put it back, bro.
Yeah. Yo.
No.
Yo.
Jordan gets on the other side of the table.
Yo, relax. Seriously.
And does what every parent hopes for.
Yeah, where'd she go?
I don't know. This is crazy, yo.
He looks for an adult.
Yo, where'd they go, bro?
But there are no adults around, so our actors continue to try to get Jordan to pick up the gun.
Do you want to see? Like,
I'm straight.
Don't worry, man.
Nah,
yo,
put it down, bro.
Yo, dude, just relax, man.
Come on, just back up.
Dude, legit.
It's so dumb, bro. Put it back.
Just as his mother suspected because of what he experienced in his old neighborhood, Jordan wants nothing to do with the gun.
Were y'all born here?
Yeah.
That's why, bro.
What did you say?
I said
what do you
why.
mean? Are you from Tampa?
I'm not from Tampa. I live in Tampa.
Okay.
I'm from Chicago. Okay.
It hits very close to home.
If I see a gun, I'll leave it there. I just don't understand, man. I don't like guns, bro. The hell she go?
How are you feeling right now, seeing how your son is speaking up?
I'm pretty proud of him.
It's so dumb.
As I head out to meet them, our actor pours on the peer pressure and begs Jordan to stay silent.
Yo, can you just please not say anything? Like, at least if you're gonna like walk away, don't say nothing about it.
Yeah, bro, you straight.
You guys are the exercise shoot participants, right?
Yeah, that's us.
Hi.
We chat a bit about the fitness test. Jordan doesn't say a word about the gun. Then I ask the important question.
Anything else go on?
Hey, Paul.
Water and stuff.
Did you find something?
What?
You find something?
No.
Somebody tell me something. Come on.
I don't know
Obviously, you guys are hiding something.
Bro, Paul, just pull that out, bro. I can see that in the back of your pants, bro.
That's when I fill him in on what's really going on.
Jordan, I'm going to put you out of the misery of the situation right now because actually we're here doing a show called My Kid Would Never Do That. This is not a real situation. These guys are actors.
We bring in Jordan's mom.
You spoke up, and I'm really proud of that.
What's especially remarkable about how Jordan handled this situation, says our expert, is that Jordan resisted the pressure by the other boys who tried everything to get him to pick up the gun.
You guys did some good acting.
I think that's the main thing with teens is that they're at an age where peer pressure is really big.
Yo.
Dr. Miltenberger suggests the best way to teach gun safety to teens is to act out a scene just like what Jordan went through.
I would create scenarios in which a peer is trying to pressure them into touching a gun or playing with a gun, and they learn to act assertively and refuse that, and actually try to get the peer to put it away, and if the peer wouldn't, to go so far as to leave.
He warns parents these are tough lessons to make stick, so start when kids are young.
Stop and don't touch it.
Little kids, that's who we'll be testing next. We've got siblings and friends, kids ages 5 to 9 years old. No actors this time, just toys, candy, and a very real-looking gun. We've been using hidden cameras to find out what teens would do when they found a gun.
Gun safety, gun safety.
Now we're focusing our lenses on little kids. Our expert says you should start gun safety training with children as young as 4. The first little kids we're going to test are siblings Luke and Nevada. What will happen when they spot a gun and they think no one is watching? Their mom explains why this test is especially important for her kids.
I know your husband is training to be a police officer.
Yes. While he was in the police academy, he had a gun in the house for a full year.
Did your kids know where the gun was?
No.
She's sure 9-year-old Nevada will know exactly what to do.
Is she sort of the rule follower kind of kid?
Absolutely.
But she's not so sure about 7-year-old Luke.
He's the middle child. He's very outgoing. He's kind of the ham of the family.
Before we test Luke and Nevada, we send them to a gun safety class with our expert, Dr. Miltenberger. The kids call him Dr. Ray.
First, stop and don't touch.
Dr. Ray talks them through the safety steps, and they repeat the lessons with ease.
What should you do?
Stop, don't touch, run away.
Where are you going to run to?
To your parents.
To your parents. It doesn't matter where they are.
Now at the University of South Florida, with the help of Dr. Ray and one of his research assistants, the kids are about to be tested. This test is similar to one Dr. Ray has used in his studies. For Luke and Nevada, it's been only 3 days since the training session. Their mom's outside in the watchmobile.
And if they go for it, how do you think you're going to be feeling?
Scared, terrified probably.
She told Luke and Nevada they were here to fill candy baskets to be donated to a local food bank. The baskets will be donated.
And then we're going to just start filling out the eggs with as much candy as we want.
But what they don't know is in a room down the hall, there's a table full of treats and a gun placed where they can't miss it. It's a prop gun that looks and feels real. Will they resist the urge to touch it?
You nervous for them?
Yes, I'm very nervous.
After they work hard at filling the baskets, Dr. Ray's research assistant tells Luke he can take a break.
You go ahead and get started on your break.
He likes to
I hit the jackpot.
He's so busy dancing, he doesn't spot the gun. But then
He sees it. Just saw it. He's giving it a second look. So far, he's not touching it, but he hasn't done anything about it yet.
Luke's mom is hoping he'll remember his training, get away and get an adult. And she gets more and more worried as time ticks by. For almost 3 minutes, he happily eats the candy, periodically peeking at the gun. Finally, he heads over to talk to his sister.
Yeah. No, I was kidding. I saw a gun on the table.
She doesn't believe him at first.
Ha ha ha. Come sit. I saw a gun on the table.
Then she goes to check it out. Will she touch the gun?
Look. It's a gun.
Nevada springs into action
It's a gun. Let's get it ready.
and goes in search of an adult.
Good.
It's really good.
His sister knew what to do.
Yeah.
How are you feeling seeing this?
A little bit relieved, but, you know, it's still just so terrifying that initially that shock wasn't there for him.
Mom says she has more work to do.
I feel like I need to bring it to Luke's attention that there needs to be a quicker reaction and not to stand by. You know, it should be immediate, get help. So scary. So scary.
Oh, I love you. We're going to do this test again, but this time we've got a group of rowdy 7-year-old boys. They're friends, which means peer pressure could play a role. Well, being with their buddies make it harder to resist touching the gun. Meet Ben, Nate, and Sean. They were in the same gun safety training class as siblings Luke and Nevada, and were told the same steps for gun safety.
Stop, don't touch. Run away until the door.
Excellent.
Hi, I'm Ben.
Do you have guns in the home?
No.
No guns in the home?
No guns.
And Ben's mom is pretty confident Ben will not touch the gun.
I think he'll be frightened by the situation. I think he'll stay away.
Hi, my name is Nate.
Do you have guns in your home?
We do.
You do?
Our boys have not seen the gun, and it is secured. And I grew up with guns, so we're fine with having a gun in the house for safety.
Nate's mom also thinks her son will steer clear of the gun.
I don't think he'll touch it.
Hi, my name is Sean.
Sean's mom says there are several guns in their house, all of them locked.
Do the kids know that you have guns in the house?
They do.
Always check to make sure it's empty.
I've let them handle them. Of course, they were not loaded, but just to take the mystery away of holding a handgun.
So it was important for you to give them the exposure?
Yes.
But she's worried because her son is familiar with guns that he might touch it.
I will be crushed if he grabs that gun, but I would not be surprised.
All right, you ready to see how they do?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a challenge for the research assistant to get the boys to focus on making the candy baskets.
He's going to need a break after being with the three of them.
Then he tells them it's time for a break, and Nate and Ben take off.
You guys can go ahead, okay?
Their mom's eyes are glued to the monitors as they watch their sons head towards the room with the gun. Will they remember the lessons from the gun safety training they had just 3 days ago? At first, Nate doesn't spot it just inches from his hands. But then, without a second thought, he reaches for it.
Ooh, gun.
It's a heart-stopping moment for all the moms, especially Nate's.
I found a gun.
Ben leans in and reaches for the gun. He picks it up by the barrel, which is pointing right at him.
Don't you dare, Ben. That's a real one.
When he drops it, the barrel is now pointing at Sean.
Is that it's heavy. It's heavy.
Then it occurs to Sean.
No, guys, I'm gun safety.
Sean's mom is relieved he remembered the rules.
You were the one who thought Sean was going to go for it right away.
Yeah.
But for Ben and Nate's moms,
it's hard. It's very hard. And he was quick. He could have had his finger in the wrong place. And that's how accidents happen.
Scary?
Absolutely.
And then as I'm wrapping up the interviews with the moms, something even scarier stops us in our tracks.
Oh my goodness.
So far, these two 7-year-olds have forgotten most of what they learned in the gun safety class they took 3 days earlier. They picked it up a few times before their friend Sean went and got an adult.
Where did you guys find it?
Now we make a mistake. Thinking the test is over, the research assistant puts the gun back. Remember, it's a prop gun. Then he moves the boys out of the area to the table with the baskets.
Let's set him up with the rest of them.
He tells them he's going to call about the gun. He's really waiting for me to show up with their moms.
I'm gonna make a phone call about what we just found, okay, guys?
And just as I'm wrapping up the interview, we see this.
Oh my goodness.
Act like you're asleep.
We hear them come up with an elaborate prank.
Ben, act like you're dead. No, Sean, you do it. You do it. It's not gonna work. We don't have blood. Oh, guys, just like we still have something else. No, wait, like it's bleeding. I got your arm.
Then Sean mimics a 911 call.
There's a murder here. Get your children out, Miss Jennifer and Miss.
You know, all it takes is one of those kids just playing to pull the trigger.
Mm-hmm. I'm devastated that he would pick up a gun and walk with it, especially among friends.
This could happen. We don't have guns in our house, so we haven't focused a whole lot on it. Clearly, bad idea.
Makes me sad. I'm scared to death that if this was a real situation, what could have happened? He didn't think twice. He went for it and grabbed it. So I have some work to do, definitely.
I try to round up the boys, but they scatter. Then Ben picks up the gun to show it to me.
Oh, whoa. Wait a minute. Are you going to point that at me? Is that something you should be doing?
Gun safety class. Well, you touched that.
Hey, I want all you guys to stand up because your moms want to talk to you, okay?
Hey. Sean's mom tells him she was watching him on hidden cameras.
You picked it up and you brought it in here.
No.
Yeah. Sean, you were on TV. I saw you.
Where?
We were watching you from another room and I saw you pick up the gun.
For the first time today, the boys are quiet. I asked them about the gun safety class they just took.
Do you remember what you learned?
Stop, don't touch.
Stop, don't touch. Then what?
Get away.
Get away. Then what?
Tell an adult.
How are you feeling about what you just went through? It's a little scary now? It's okay. It's okay.
We tell the boys they're not in trouble. They just need more training. And they need the right kind of training.
Stop and don't touch it.
Turns out Dr. Ray's not surprised the boys failed. He used a training that's often taught in gun safety classes. You simply tell kids what to do. He used this talk-only method to illustrate what his research found. That type of training doesn't usually work.
I expected that they would probably touch the gun, perhaps play with it and maybe do something dangerous with it.
Based on his research published in the Journal of the American Academy of Pediatrics, Dr. Ray says just talking to kids about gun safety was about as effective as no training at all. Most kids, when tested, touched the gun. Nevada's reaction falls within the exceptions. He says if you want to be more effective, you have to not only tell kids how to be safe, you have to show them.
Now go see that gun and show me what you can do.
He calls it behavioral skills training. That's what these kids are getting.
I want you guys to go in the kitchen and do your homework and don't come back until it's done, okay?
He's having them act out exactly what to do if they were to spot a gun.
Oh my gosh, that's a gun.
In lots of different situations.
Oh my goodness, there's a gun in the kitchen?
And now we're going to test two sets of siblings from the class.
I am Kaden.
What's your name?
Nolan.
Caden and Nolan, and Harrison and Julian. They all seem to be paying close attention during the behavioral skills gun safety class. Harrison and Julian's mom says her boys have very different personalities.
Julian's sort of the funny kid. He's always laughing. He is very curious. At times he will test the limits, where Harrison's more of a rule follower.
Our other set of siblings also have very different personalities. Their dad thinks Caden will stay away from the gun, but Nolan, being the curious type,
I think he'll be the one to go ahead and maybe grab the gun.
Caden and Nolan's parents keep a gun in their house. It's locked and the boys don't know where it is.
So you want to get started on the letters?
As their kids begin the test, the parents get anxious. And we wonder, will this new training make a difference?
It's a nail biter.
Your heart is
A little
racing
shaky.
right
Yeah,
now.
my hands are a little shaky.
Two sets of siblings happily filling baskets with candy. Julian and Harrison, and Caden and Nolan. They're about to be sent to a room with no adults and a very real-looking gun. From our watchmobile, their parents cross their fingers, hoping none of their children will touch the gun.
I lost something.
The research assistant tells the kids it's time to take a break.
So you guys can go ahead and get started on your snacks.
They race over to the other table, and within seconds, Julian spots the gun. And then he reaches for it. Will his hands-on training make a difference?
You can't touch it, remember?
Can't touch it.
Guys, you need to go tell them.
He gets the group to run in search of the research assistant.
Here's the gun! Here's the gun!
That didn't take long.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about how
I'm
your kids reacted?
Proud mama. I'm
Yeah.
a proud mama. Julian's initial reaction of stepping back, you know, sort of telling the other kids, we're not doing this right now. I'm really proud and relief.
Yeah.
Relief.
I bet.
So the behavioral training may have made a difference.
I think it really did. I think education is so important. Really important. And yes.
We tested other kids from that same role-playing class, like these two friends. They spotted the gun and ran for help. So far, so good.
If you find a gun at someone else's house, who do you tell?
We've got one more group, 6-year-old friends Austin and Oliver.
Guys, let's go play.
They also got that behavioral skills training.
Check this out. Touch
There's
it.
a gun on the table, Dad.
There's a gun on the table?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, thanks for telling me.
Their dads aren't convinced the training sunk in.
30% chance Oliver will pick it up.
30% chance. Okay. Matt?
I don't know. I think he might pick it up. I'm just worried about this one.
Okay, here we go. So you see the gun on the table is clearly visible.
Austin quickly spots the gun. Will he remember his training and not touch it?
Gun!
Oh, no!
But the laughter doesn't last for long.
He's got his finger on the trigger.
Which is unbelievable.
It's in a battery. Remember?
Oliver's dad looks relieved. His son's warning seems to jog Austin's memory.
Oh, I gotta go tell him. We have to go tell him.
But Oliver stays at the table, and then...
Right at his face.
Now watch what he does next.
Oh. Oh my goodness.
Oh, well, he...
As they come back with the research assistant, Oliver lifts up the gun, the barrel pointing at his friend's head.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. He just...
You laugh, but
But it's
because
not
we
fun.
know it's a situation where we're testing them, but if that were real.
Yeah.
Hard to see that.
It was disappointing. Those training sessions were so recent.
Their dads go to speak with their sons.
What happened when you saw that gun?
I touched it.
Why?
I wanted to.
I love you. I'm glad you're safe. If this was a real gun, it could have been incredibly dangerous, incredibly scary. Okay?
Do you realize what that gun can do?
Can kill you?
I love you, buddy, but next time we can't have that happen. It can never happen again, okay?
Okay.
So why did these kids fail? Dr. Ray says even though his research found the behavioral skills training is better, it isn't foolproof. He says it works about 50% of the time. For some kids, the attraction to guns is so strong that they need to be trained over and over. He says after the role playing and after you've tested them, you need to train again and test them again.
Kids know their ABCs and they know their basic addition and subtraction because they've practiced it over and over. It's the same with this skill.
Like a fire drill at school.
Absolutely.
Kids have to practice it. They have to know the exits. They have to get it under a certain amount of time.
It's a perfect analogy.
Ooh, a gun.
To show you what he means, we go back to these boys, Nate, Ben, and Sean.
Don't you dare, Ben. That's a real one.
They failed the test after the Just Talk training. So would more training using the behavioral skills method make a difference?
You didn't expect one today, did you?
On the day of the first test, right on the spot, Dr. Ray gave them the behavioral skills training.
Stop, run away. It's a real gun, okay?
And he had them role play one more time.
See that gun and show me exactly what you would do.
Now we're going to test them again at Sean's house, the same place they had their last training. They might be on alert since the setting is familiar, but will that help them remember what to do? We've got hidden cameras rolling upstairs and their nervous moms downstairs.
So you had a training again with Dr. Ray. And how did the boys do then?
They did really well. He emphasized it a little bit more, you know, to take it one step farther.
They did some role playing. I think they took Dr. Ray seriously, and hopefully it'll stick.
It's been more than 3 weeks since they failed the first test.
Let's see what happens.
The boys come home from school and head upstairs.
You guys nervous?
I am a little bit. Of course.
Completely nervous.
Nate spots the gun and yells to the others. This time, the boys don't go anywhere near the gun. Instead, they run downstairs to tell an adult.
Hey! Hi, guys!
Awesome.
Relief and pride for these moms.
Good job, buddy. Give me a hug.
And their boys.
I'm really proud of you.
We've seen tonight just how hard it is for kids of all ages to resist the temptation to pick up a gun. But our expert says it's not impossible to keep kids safe. He says make sure guns are locked and hidden. Ask before your kids visit friends' homes if there are any unsecured guns. And always teach them gun safety by acting out what to do. It just might save a life.